Hey.
Hi, I'm Bethany Ferrie and I'm in conversation today with Darren from Jace Media.
Hi, Betty. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Good, good. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. It's another bleak May Day holiday, but we just make the most of it. It's Glasgow after all, so we just get on with
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
So, where are you just now? You in Glasgow just now, or are you elsewhere?
Yeah, I'm in Glasgow. I live in the East End, so I'm pretty close to the city centre.
Yeah. So, what have you been up to? What's been happening?
Not much. Just I'm doing a uni course, and I'm coming to the end of that, so I'm getting all my assignments done. And that's been all online this year, so that was a whole mission to do. And then I've just released my first single from kind of my planned EP. It's not quite finished yet, but I'm working on that for the next few months. Yeah, so I'm getting music out as much as I can, and that's my plan going forward.
Yeah. How has it been studying at home? It's been hard. Have you found it easy? A lot of people I've spoken to have said that they found it quite demotivating.
I think it has its ups and downs. I think it's good. For my course, it was in air, so it was like an hour away
Yeah,
3 times a week. And the classes started at 10, so you had to leave before 9. And it's good that way that I don't have to worry so much about the travelling, and having to do all that. But it is kind of a different experience. And this was my last year, so it was like all that work for the past 3 years just been like completely different this year, and then like no graduation or anything.
yeah,
Like in the same way, it's kind of it feels like you're not working towards the same thing that people past have been working towards.
yeah.
Um, but teaching, the teaching wise, I mean, I've handled it quite well, and with assignments and stuff, I've been doing them just fine, and then they've always been great, like with emailing and stuff. As long as you have really good people on your course, like lecturers and also your friends.
Study
Um,
buddies. Yeah,
yeah, as long as you have like good people for the course, you're much better. I know some people don't have that kind of support, but I think I've been very lucky that I have had that kind of thing around me.
yeah. I think that's important, and obviously as well, you're trying to sort of cram in your musical stuff as well. So you're trying to do both. Which to a lot of people would be quite hard. I mean, myself. I mean, I review most nights. I work full time through the day.
Mhm.
I'm on until 9, 10 o'clock at night reviewing albums and EPs and singles and doing interviews. So, fortunately, it's something that I love doing. I love doing stuff like this, talking to like new talent and the old Sea Dogs that I get. I was talking to a dude on Thursday night who's been in the industry for 50 years.
Mm.
And you're like, it's a pleasure to sit and chat to these guys about their musical journey, and hopefully this is something that you're just embarking on,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
It's just it's I did your single last year, under it
Mhm.
was given to me last year, and I posted it out. There was a wee bit of interest in it, but I guess that people are just getting to know you, and getting to know who you are. I mean, you've kind of been about. You've done lots of gigs. You've got a transmit. You've done, King Tut's. You've done the Blue Arrow, a jazz club, and things like that. And how does that feel? I mean, what got you into doing music? What was your inspiration to say I want to pick up guitar and get into it?
I picked up the guitar when I think I was about 10, and it was just that my dad played it, so I picked up on it, and then I've just kind of been self-taught for the past 13 years. Um, but that kind of got me in it, and then when I got to high school, it was like, well, what do I do with the guitar? And then I started singing, and then that kind of took off. once, like, I started talking to my friends about it, and they were like, "Oh, why don't you post YouTube videos?" So I started that, and then the teachers all picked up on it on the music department, and they got me into a couple of like the talent shows and the Christmas shows that they would put on.
Yeah.
And then from there, I just I started writing my own songs, and then I was coming to the end of high school, and I was thinking, what the hell do I do? I need to go into like some sort of course, or I need to find work, or I just need to kind of set myself up for the rest of my life after I've known like primary school and high school for the better part of it.
Yeah.
And then I looked into uni courses for music, and a lot of it was you had to be classically trained, or you had to like be a certain grade in piano, and that just wasn't really me. So I found this course, and it was more like the music business, and it basically had everything. It had recording, it had performance, and it had the actual music business. So I've been doing that the past 4 years, and a couple of the projects that we've had to do throughout really got me into like being more of an artist rather than just someone who sits in their bedroom, maybe writes a song or two, posts a couple of videos. And in 2019, I had a project to do, and it was kind of to start establishing as an artist. And that got me a couple of singles out, like pushed me to get a couple of those out. And then I got, like that same year for the summer, I got into the BBC Singer-Songwriter Award for BBC Scotland. And that kind of just, I was like, I've only just started putting myself out there, and I'm already getting kind of recognition in a sort of way. And it really like pushed me forward into going, okay, yeah, this can be something that I can do. And I was lucky enough to kind of connect with my manager that I work with now. And Aid's been really great in getting me like a couple more singles out, and just kind of helping me find my way through the industry.
Establish yourself.
Yeah, because as much as I learn in uni, it's good to have someone behind you going, you can do this, you can do that, this will help. Because other than that, I would just be on my own. And it's just really good to have him there, because it's been a couple of years now. I do kind of sometimes need a push to go, right, let's get something new out. Maybe you should work with this person. Here's someone to talk to. It's just really good to have that behind me now.
Yeah, you were saying there about recognition, but I guess the Aid and Lisa, they see something in you. The lyrics and the music you put out, it'll probably resonate with a lot of people, and they will, and I think it's also nice that they're seeing an emerging talent. It's been a long, for Mr. Capaldi, I don't think we've had anyone for a couple of years before that. So I guess that they see a wee bit of potential in a young Scottish singer-songwriter coming through, and I guess it's the same with most youngsters. I've got a 27, I've got a 27, a 23, and a 22-year-old, and a 23-year-old has just graduated as a social worker, and much like no graduation party, and it's like, yeah, I need to do this, I need to do that, I want to go out, but and I'm like, yeah, you just need to do it, I think our generation was like, you just go out, you worked hard, and you kind of got where you got to. I think nowadays, where the youngsters, you have so much opportunity with the music industry. It certainly opened my eyes a lot, with the people that I deal with every day on a daily basis, and hopefully with this wee video, we'll get you out there. I mean, we get about 120,000 visitors to the site every month. This wee video is going to go to Australia, it's going to go to America, it's going to go to Europe, and somebody, because what we'll probably do, we'll maybe attach the song to the video, and somebody will get a chance to hear what you like, as well as look at you. I may warn you that the video may come with subtitles, because the last time I did an interview with someone in England, Facebook put subtitles on it because you couldn't understand it. So you may find you might get a wee bit of that at some point today, a wee bit of subtitles and stuff. So that'll be quite funny. And I let a lot of people kind of pick up on that because it's like natural for two Glasgow people just to sit and talk mince, and people go, "What are they talking about?" You know. So that'll be quite good as well. You know. So hopefully with this wee video that you'll get a wee bit of exposure as well. You know, I'll take you a wee places. You know, I know hundreds of PR companies and managers and stuff on here, so they may pick up on it and like what they hear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah.
So when you finish the course, what's the plan of action?
Well, my uni offers the master's program in songwriting.
Okay.
And I kind of just want to take that opportunity to develop the skills that you need for songwriting as much as I can, because I kind of just like fell into it and I just started writing one day. And it was the same when I was putting together projects for uni. I just kind of was like, okay, well, I have to write a song, so I'll write a song. But I never looked into the practices of, different techniques. And, I never did any workshops or anything like that. And in the little bit that I've had through uni, it's been really helpful. So I just thought, why not take the year, because the world is kind of still a little upside down. Just take that extra year that you can, because obviously here we don't pay for tuitions or anything.
Yeah.
So my tuition would be covered. So why not just take that and gain as much experience and knowledge as you can, while I still have the time for it as well. And then I'm just going to just work on my music. I think I've set like this summer I wanted to be like, right, I want like a collective piece of work. So I just kind of want to take this summer to write as much as I can before I jump back into my studies.
Yeah.
To kind of write again, but in a different way. So yeah, I think I just kind of want to keep developing as much as I can. I'm always trying to work on ways that I can be better. And I think I did that even with Bones, compared to Stayed and Under. I think my writing process was different. So I work with a remote producer,
Okay.
and he's down in England. But I just do like as much as I can on Logic, and then I send all the bounce tracks to him, and he kind of produces it fully. But I was kind of working on things while I was doing Bones, and I was like, this is me kind of stepping out of my comfort zone a bit, and it was kind of a rockier tune, and I kind of I love that kind of music, so I was like, why not make that music? So I'm always trying to push myself into things that I love, as much as it's like brand new to me. I want to listen to music like I would listen to, and not just because it's my own.
Yeah, I kind of think that what you're doing is you're making music for yourself. You know, a lot of people go, you can do this because this would probably sell because it sounds good. But the thing is the way what you're saying is exactly right. You're not being true to yourself. You know, you want to make music that you would listen to yourself, and you want to make music that people will go, wow, that's fresh and it's new, and it's got a wee bit of blues. And, you know, obviously when I was doing Bones, you know, I think in the midsection of it, it sounded a wee bit of, with the piano, a wee bit of Coldplay in the middle. You know, maybe I'm talking rubbish, I don't know, right? But when I was listening to it yesterday, I'm thinking that sounds a wee bit like Coldplay in the middle of the piano section in the middle. And I thought, yeah, it's quite good. You've got bluesy piano, your vocals are, they're fantastic. They mix well with the arrangement that you've put out and your team have put out. And I can see what you mean. You know, when people say you get for fans of Fleetwood Mac and Lewis and Kings of Leon, there's a bit of everything in it. There's a wee bit of rock, there's a wee bit of blues, there's a wee bit of soul. You know, there's a wee bit of pop, and there's a wee bit of Coldplay. And who doesn't love a bit of Coldplay?
I know.
You know, so at the end of the day, you know, doing it for you, I think, is exactly the right thing. I think you don't want to make music that's going to please everybody else, because you are going out there going, I'm making music that's making them happy, but it's not making me happy. So that's the right way to do it. But what's happening with it? When do you think you're going to get your EP out? What's the deal? Stop stalling and get the EP out. Come on.
I know. I think I do put a little bit too much pressure on myself as well. Like, I want to put out. I kind of want to put out every song feels like a single, because some people will think, oh, that's an album track, that shouldn't be released on its own. But I always want to be like, no, every single song could be a single. So I have one song that's like basically finished, and I just, it's going, oh, should I put 4 tracks on it? Should I put 5 tracks on it? And then it's like, but will I get those 5 tracks done? Yeah, so I kind of want to get it out. I want to do, a lot of my songs are kind of depressing and sad and a little bit slower, and I kind of wanted to put out something in the summer which was a bit more upbeat. So I'm trying to get, I'm working on it, but I'm trying to get my way there, to a more upbeat and summery song. So we'll see if that happens, but I'm hoping the EP will come out within like the next few months, if not like maybe 4 months or 5 months maybe. But I do want to get it out definitely before, definitely before the end of this year, because I think I've been dragging my feet a little bit as well on it.
Well, I think it's good, Bethany, that you kind of realise that, what you've got, lots going on. You've got your uni course, and also when you break up after you've done your uni course, you might want to have a wee bit of fun, because it is, we're sort of slowly edging out a lockdown, and it'll be nice for you just to sort of relax a little bit. But I know that when you've had a couple of singles out, there's a wee bit of pressure, because people will go, this single Bones it's a different writing style from the last 2, and it feels, if I can be honest, it feels more grown up, if that makes sense. It might not. You might sit there and think the big dude's talking a pile of nonsense, right? But when you listen to them, your 3 tracks you've had, this one feels a lot more grown up. It feels a lot more accomplished, if you kind of get my meaning. And I think that people will maybe want that for you moving forward. So the possibility of you putting the wee bit of pressure on yourself is because as you're growing in stature, where you're writing at uni, and as you're putting your singles out, people are going, wow, that's really good. There is that bit of pressure to go, I need to make the next one better. And the next one better than that. So there is that pressure. You're going, shit, there's pressure. But I guess for you, and I think you're right, it's finding your feet, finding your niche, finding where you think you should be, and your management, if you should give you that wee gentle nudge, maybe you should do this, maybe you should try that. It would be great. I think it's everybody's is an agreement for live music to come back, and for you to get out there again and go, this is another side to Bethany Ferrie. This is, and this is your being at uni, getting your big boy heat on and writing for you, and I think people would really enjoy that. So I guess there is that point where you want to try and get something out, but I don't think you want to rush it.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that with myself. Like, I don't want to rush even just like the really beginning process of something. So with Bones, I had the idea of it, of like how I wanted like a sort of song to sound with the concept, but the title didn't come just like, oh yeah, Bones, that's a good title. That was like in another song. I'd written a completely different song, and then I wrote the line, I want to open to my bones, and I was like, I'm not just sticking that into a song. That's the song on its own. So I completely like scrapped that other one, and I was like, okay, let's start again with that line, and that's the line. That's it.
That's
So
what you want to be.
I took like 2 weeks to write the old song, and then I took like another 2 weeks to write Bones, and it was basically like very similar songs, but this one was just so much better. And I was like, I found it. I found what I wanted to say. And then the whole like production and the recording for me was like another 2 weeks on top of that. And then it was just kind of like, I sent it to Ross and he was like, yeah, this is really good. And then he worked on it. So he makes like the final product that I couldn't really do with the skills that I have now. But yeah, it took so long for me just to work out like, this has to sound good through my like little crappy demo. This has to sound like wow already, before he'd even touched it. So I do take my time that way because I want it to sound good even through like crappy speakers. It's kind of the same like cliche kind of thing. Or you know a good song when you can just sit down with a piano or a guitar. That was kind of the same way of thinking for me as like the recording process. So I'm always like that. And with new songs, I could write a whole song and like sort of produce it, and then turn around and go, not for me. Like I could be taking 2 weeks out just to do this one song, and it's not for me. So I don't put it out. And I think I've done that with trying to get tracks for this EP, and I've just kind of had to start from scratch again. And I think that's why it takes me so long, because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. I kind of guess that's what's happened when you're uni course, because you could probably just go, I've written a song, I'll bosh it out, Ross can take it and he'll make something of it. You send it away and you think, I'm not really happy with it. So I think the thing for you is that you're learning that, that to take certain lines, certain lyrics and certain rhythms and maybe make them into something else. And I think that's good, because you don't want to be you'd be rushing stuff and people going, it was okay. You know what I mean? So I kind of guess that taking lines out on one song and putting another, it's kind of, it lets people know that you're serious and you're thinking about it. You could just rattle out, a new single every 2-3 months, and people go, "My God, she's a hit machine." But that way, it's like you want to take your time. You want people to take you seriously. You want to take people to take you as a musician who kind of knows their stuff. And if you just go, "Yeah, there's a single," right? PR people, there's another single. People go, "Wow, she's just banging these tunes out." And then people might go, "Oh, they're all samey. They're all right." So this way, you're taking your time, which is good, which is great. And I really got into it. I just, Lisa sent it to me about 3 or 4 days ago, and that way, I said, "Oh, hey, I did something with her last year. Must have been last year." And I looked up my library. I went, "Oh, hi!" I said, "She did that single Under." I said, "That depressed me enough. I hope this one's better." Right? Just kidding, only kidding, just kidding. And I thought, no, let's get into it. And you could instantly tell it was a different vibe from the last one. So congratulations on that. It's a cracking wee song. I hope it does really well, because I think that, when you're starting out, you want people to like what you've got, and you want people to recognize you for your writing credentials, as well as your lyrics and your music. So as I say, I really enjoyed it. I think it should be up on the site tomorrow, and I might get my boss to do the single review and the video together, so I'll make a wee splash of it and get you out there, and hopefully it'll gather a wee bit of momentum. I think the last time, when I did Under, I think it was viewed about 500 times. So let's get a wee bit more than that this time, because I think this one deserves it. It's got a cracking wee vibe to it, so you should be very pleased with it.
Yeah, I definitely am. All that work I put into it, it's definitely paid off for me, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess the PR company they'll just be wanting you to make it right. They'll be happy to guide you in your musical journey, but you'll probably want you to make sure that it's right for you as you go along, you know, because you don't want to just knock out a few singles and people go, yes, it was okay, and then kind of fade out. You know, you want to, there's longevity in it. And you know, the fact that you're recognised for the BBC Young Songwriter and things like that, you know, it doesn't happen to everyone. So you should be very proud of that. Did you win, by the way?
No, I was only in the top 10.
Oh, who won it? What am I doing? Who was it? Anybody we know?
It was a guy named Mike McKenzie.
Don't know.
Doesn't
matter. It doesn't matter. Just kidding. No, listen, it's good that you know that you're even mentioned in that, because it's a nice bit of prestige, you know, that people recognise you, you know. So anyway, so onwards to the future. EP out, hopefully this year. Who knows?
Yeah.
What about gigs that you're looking to do? Any gigs this year? Are you trying to pencil something in, or are you just waiting to see what happens?
I think I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens, because I know it could all just shut down again, and like all of these things could just go right back to square one. I was meant to play Country to Country, that big festival.
Yeah.
I was meant to play at that, like their little record store stage. So all the big acts obviously are trying to sell their singles and stuff. And they were just going to set up a little stage in it was like one of the lounges in the Hydro, and they would turn it into a record store. So I was supposed to play that, and then that was right before it all shut down last year. So yeah, I'm kind of just holding out that everything goes back to normal and stays sort of normalish, and then I can start booking in, because I'll have a little more faith in everything.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, obviously there was that gig in Liverpool the weekend. So, you know, it was a successful, you know, have a test before it and then have another test before you enter. And there was people not wearing face masks and all huddled together. So let's hope that's, you know, something for the future that starts to open up. Because I do think that when the world opens again, there'll be a gig in Glasgow probably every night for probably 6 months.
I know.
You know, and it would be good to see you out there if you can get your backside in gear and stop dragging it about. So, listen, it's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you, Bethany. It's been a real nice wee chat, that just to get to know you. You know, hopefully the video will come across very well with subtitles or no. Who knows? Well, as I say, we'll hopefully stick the single review on tomorrow. I'll keep you informed as to how well it's doing. I'll let you know when the video's up, and you can share it on your socials and tell people you were talking to a big mad Scottish guy who was just as loud as anything. So that's all good.
Thank you for having me.
Listen, Beth, it's an absolute pleasure. It's just a joy to have you on. Nice to have a wee bit of Scottish talent, you know, starting to show through. It's good that you're taking your time. Congratulate you on the new single. It's a wee belter.
Thank you.
It's a shift from the last one. So you're obviously doing something, and I don't say right or better. You're doing something else, because you just, as soon as I heard it, I thought, wow, it's different from Under. So congratulations for that. I hope it does well when it comes out. As I say, I'll let you know about the video when I get it up, and you can share it on your socials.
I'll do.
Okay, this is Darren from Jace Media in conversation with Scottish singer-songwriter Bethany Ferrie, saying thank you very much for your time, Bethany, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Take care.